Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and this is Sewing with Nightmare. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made the remaining pieces of my Zelda cosplay. I will also be finally showing the finished product and talking a little bit about how it went. I am first going to be showing you how I made a pleated skirt for the underskirt. I was unhappy with how the underskirt from the pattern came out, and I went back to the source images and realized that it was a pleated skirt. So I remade it in a rayon fabric, and this fabric is much less see-through than the original cotton voile. After that, I will be tackling the tabard, and finally, we will be on to the reveal. I am so excited to finally be done with this project, and I am happy that I got to share this journey with all of you. So with that, let's go get started. So here I'm just making all the markings on the fabric so that I can see where I need to create those pleats in this skirt. This is a very simple pleated skirt pattern, and it was super easy also to adjust because it was actually a little too big. And here you can see that I'm measuring it and trying to calculate how big the circumference is going to be around my waist. It ended up being a little bit too big and I had to go back and redo some of the pleats, add a little bit more volume to them, and take in the side seam a little bit, because for some reason I always have a problem with things being too big. I mean, better too big than too small. So this skirt pattern actually wants you to create the skirt and then create the pleats, but I decided not to do it that way because it's easier to create the pleats when they're flat rather than in a circle. Like, I think that would be really much more difficult if I was creating pleats on a skirt that was already created and sewn in a circle. So I decided to do it this way because I found it to be a little bit easier. Now, as far as making sure that it fit, it made it a little bit more difficult because I did have to go back and take some of the pleats out, take the side seam out, all of that. But I basted the side seams together just to make sure that they would fit before I sewed them down permanently. So here I'm just basting across the top of all of the pleats so that they are held together and in place, so that when I sew them together and sew the waistband on, it is being held together. So the basting stitch is just really across the top within the seam allowance of that waistband so that it will hold those pleats together without me having to worry about them falling apart. Here I believe I'm sewing together the side seams of the skirt, and I'm sorry about the bad angle. I guess when I was recording I didn't realize that I did not have myself and the sewing machine in frame here. So this one, and I believe the next one, is also kind of the same thing. But you really can't see exactly what I'm doing. But I know this was a very simple skirt construction, so really just the front and the back pieces are sewn together, and after you create the pleats, and then the waistband is sewn on, and then you just hem it. So it's really easy skirt construction. The hardest part was making sure that it would fit with all the pleats. And here I'm sewing the waistband on, and then once the waistband is in place, you just fold over and slip stitch the waistband down. So for this skirt construction, you actually put the invisible zipper, or whatever kind of zipper you're using, on before you put the waistband on, because the waistband has a snap on it. But I unfortunately did not record that. I was just trying to get this done, and also I had to take the waistband off once because it didn't fit me the first time. It was entirely too big, so I had to make some adjustments to the pattern. So I guess I forgot to record that part of it. So here I'm just slip stitching that waistband in place on the inside, and then I believe after this I put the snaps on, and I'm not 100% sure that I recorded that part of it, but it's not really going to be seen. This is all going to be underneath that overdress that I made, and you'll barely see this at all. But I just was not happy with how see-through the material was that I used, or quite frankly, the silhouette, because when I went back and looked at several of the images from the video game, she did wear a pleated skirt underneath. So I really wanted to stay true to that image and go back and make it a pleated skirt, which is why I chose to remake this skirt. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be working on my necklace for my Zelda cosplay. So this is what I have so far as the necklace, and it actually looks pretty good, but what I actually need to do is I need to take it apart and make this bigger because I'm having trouble. Right now I have this hook on here. The hook is on here. However, I can't put the other clasp piece on this side because it keeps untying. And I'm not a jewelry maker, so I don't really know exactly how to get it there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take two of the string, and then that way I can loop knot it around the end. So I'm gonna take this apart and put it back together the way that I'll be able to actually loop it and hold the clasp on the end. So we'll get started on that, and then I'm still waiting on some other beads to get started on the armbands and the wristbands and the beads for along the dress. So that is still waiting. So let's get started on this, and then Jesus Christ, cat. So let's get started on this, and then we'll tackle the other stuff once it comes in. I also have done some of this. I got a Cricut machine, and I got this applied here with heat transfer vinyl or iron-on, whatever they call it. So I don't have enough of this brown to finish the remainder of the tabard yet. I have to go back to the store and get some more of the brown iron-on in order to finish up the remainder of the tabard, which is pretty much all of this, the rest of this, minus the white pieces, because there are a couple pieces on here that are white that I have to also fill in. So that is in the process, and I will be finishing that hopefully this week. But for right now, let's get going on this and see how far I can get. I need to also check and see where my package is from Michael's for the rest of the beads. So here you can see that I'm just rebeading that, and actually I did go back and decide to use like a piece of metal wire for around the neck piece and put like the clasps on there. It was much easier to get it on and off and not have to worry about it coming apart. And the reason why I did that as well was because the little tier that she has on there, I was finally able to order it off of Etsy, and once it came in, I needed to be able to get it on there, and I didn't feel like it was a good idea for it to be on an elastic thing. So in the end, in the finished product, you'll see that it looks slightly different from this. And I will say that the most difficult part of this was probably sourcing the beads for it, because I made the armbands and I made the necklace, but I was not able to find beads that matched close enough even for my liking for the wrist and the ankle piece. And so I still haven't made those. I did buy some beads recently that I think will work. They're not brown, and all of the beads that she's wearing is brown. But it's impossible to find beads in the shape and size that she has on in the video game. So I just kind of gave up on the color and looked for something that I just thought would fit the size and the shape of it and close enough in color that I was okay with it. So those I'm not going to record, and I didn't even do them yet. So I won't record that. but maybe at some point I might post final pictures of like how it looks when I go to at some point I'll probably post final pictures of like me in the cosplay at a convention or whatever. But right now, I haven't even made them. So, but you can see that here it fits actually really well. But like I said, I did change it. And here in this one, I am trying to mark out where the placement of these pieces is going to go for the heat transfer vinyl or the iron-on vinyl, whatever you want to call it. And I made those on the Cricut. And this was actually a really long, tedious process as well, because I had to take the images, put them in their program, make sure they were the right size, and then print it. And I don't have a really long board to print on, so I was just having to do small pieces. So it was kind of a pain in the butt. It probably would be easier if you bought the 3D printed version of it, but I just can't see spending $100 on some 3D printed beads and then having to finish them and then having to sew them on. And I also really didn't like the look of them, so that's why I went ahead and did this. So here you can see I'm pressing those pieces on, and you have to do like a certain amount of time on a certain temperature, which I'm just using a regular iron, and you absolutely can use a regular iron. It just takes a little bit longer and it's more of like an experiment. Oh, let me check and see if it's bonded. If it's not, let me go back and put a little bit more heat on there. And there was actually a piece where when I weeded it out, I didn't weed all the pieces out. I missed like a small section of it. And so that piece bonded when it should have been weeded out. So there was that. And also, which is less concerning than the last thing that happened, right at the very end, I accidentally burned the very top white piece on there, and I got so upset that I almost trashed the whole thing. But then I decided that it looked okay, and the only person that likely will notice the mistake is me. And so I just decided to leave it. But you can see here, after I bond this to it, you'll see that I was trying to pick something off and I accidentally didn't remove part of it that I should have. So it looks okay though. Okay guys, let's talk about this. So I'm really happy overall with how it came out. I'm really glad that I remade the skirt into a pleated skirt because like I said, this fabric is much thicker and much less see-through, and I think it's much more suited to something that I can wear and not have to worry about it being super translucent. The tabard, it came out okay. I'm not super happy with it, and I haven't put the things on the bottom yet here. Like it's supposed to have a silver band here, I think, and then those other beads. I don't have those beads, and I'm not really sure what I'm gonna make them out of. So right now, it's just staying that way. The tabard is also just, as you could probably see in the reveal, it's only, right now, I didn't have enough snaps for it, so right now it's only attached at the top here and right here. So I only put 2 snaps here and 2 snaps here because when I put it on, I didn't have any more. So I have to put an additional snap down here so that it doesn't fly around so much, because it was flying around quite a bit in the reveal because it was windy. The necklace, I really like how that came out. This is a charm that I bought off of Etsy. I would link it in the description, but I can't because they don't always have it for sale. So sometimes they have it and sometimes they don't, and I just happened to find it when they did have it and was able to order it. I'm not really sure what it's made of, but it's pretty accurate to the video game, and I really like how it came out. And then I made the rest of this stuff and the armbands. As far as the cosplay itself, I think it came out really good, and I'm overall really happy with it. It was just such a process, and I guess when I first started, I didn't realize how much work was going to be involved in it and how long it was really going to take me. And there were times when I just wanted to walk away from it because it was so time and labor intensive. So I can understand why people charge a lot of money for a cosplay of this quality, because I think overall a lot of it was hand sewn, a lot of it was, you know, stuff that I had to do by hand because there was just no way I could do it any other way, and it's very fitted to me. So if you were buying this from somebody or you were commissioning a piece, I can understand why it would cost upwards of $1,000 because it is very time and labor intensive. And but I'm overall really happy with how it came out. It is a little bit tight in the chest area, and either I made it too small, slightly too small, or I gained a little bit of weight. I'm not really sure which, but it is a little bit hard for me to breathe in it. So there's that, but I'm not going to be running a marathon in it, luckily, so it's okay. But yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I'm really excited to move on to the next project that I'm doing, which is my Fallout jumpsuit. I know that the last video that I posted, I said that I was going to have the mock-up done, and I did do the mock-up, but there were so many fit issues with the mock-up that I have to size up, grade the pattern, make another mock-up, and then make the fit adjustments from that mock-up. So I haven't done that. I only made the first mock-up, which didn't fit, and I was just really discouraged by. So it's a process. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks I will have that ready to go and be able to go live with it. But I'm not really sure because, like I said, it's a very complicated pattern and there's a lot to it. And, you know, fitting is always an issue, so. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like my content and want to support my channel, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions about how I made this project or any questions specific to it, please leave them in the comments below and I will get right back to you. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you again for watching. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is oh my God!
I was gonna put loud fart noises on too.
This is what happens when I try to record. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's fucking so stupid, this goddamn cat. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
He's ready to fucking kill.
I see that.
Vicious nightmare. He wants mommy's attention. Mommy's
He always wants all the attentions. Attention me, mommy.
busy for him.
I'm never too busy for the nightmare. Okay.
So that's a sewing taper.
Shh. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon, and this is Sewing with Nightmare. Nightmare. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is oh my God!
I was gonna put loud fart noises on too.
This is what happens when I try to record. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's fucking so stupid, this goddamn cat. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Right in the middle of it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon, and this is Sewing with Nightmare. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I made the remaining pieces of my Zelda cosplay. The final product. And talking a little bit about how it went.
Wait, you'll finally be showing the final product? What?
I will finally be showing the finished product and talking a little bit about how it went. I am first going to be showing you how I made a pleated skirt for the underskirt. I was unhappy with how the underskirt from the pattern came out, and I went back to the source images and realized that it was a pleated skirt. So I remade it in a rayon fabric, and this fabric is much less see-through than the original cotton voile. After that, I will be tackling the tabard, and finally, we will be on to the reveal. I am so excited to finally be done with this project, and I am happy I got to share this journey with you guys. I am so excited to finally be done with this project, and I am happy that I got to share this journey with all of you. So with that, let's go get started.